Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard the short bus to hell. Please remember when boarding to keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We are not responsible for missing items, brain lesions, cardiac arrest, the abandonment by a loved one, exploding kittens, or world domination by little green men. We will take credit for a good time and the occasional moistness you might feel at varying locations of your person. This ride may not be for everyone, and if that's you, please find the nearest window to throw yourself from the vessel. Buckle up and enjoy.
Welcome to Great Friends, OK People. I am Anthony, though I do not know half the time if I actually am because I've got 3 hours of sleep in the last 24 hours. But I am joined this week by the reincarnation of Jeffrey Epstein. Jeff, how are you doing?
Oh my fucking god! All because I said we were going to recruit child reporters.
That is exactly why. You said last episode that you were going to recruit children, and then you also bought chairs from Wayfair, but they didn't come in the original box because they were damaged goods or whatever.
I wonder if they were named like the way that the conspiracy theory was, where it's like Betsy, a cabinet.
Well, that's what I have to assume was the box was the wrong size box for just the chairs because you would have room for the children inside the box too.
The children escaped. They escaped once they got to the auction house.
They escaped and took the legs with them too.
Yeah, it was their weapon to get out of the auction.
All right, well, you're not Jeff, obviously. You're Cody.
And for the record, I got a whopping 12 hours of sleep, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Whopping 12
and I
hours.
didn't take my daily nap today.
You don't fucking need a nap if you get 12 hours of sleep.
But that's why I didn't take my daily nap. And also in solidarity with the fact that you're
It's fucking solidarity. I got to sleep after Kristen got home about 8:30 last night for about an hour and a half. I woke up at like 10:13ish. I was supposed to get up at 10:15, and then Kristen comes and wakes me up and she goes, "It's storming really bad. You may want to get up and leave a little bit early." I looked at my watch. I'm like, "You woke me up 2 minutes early for my alarm."
2 minutes?
Yeah. This is not a normal for her.
What time was it?
It was 10:13. My alarm was set for 10:15 because I had to leave by 10:30 to be at work on time for my double.
I'm trying to think if that was when the storm was happening last night for me. It was rough.
I heard
it was done within like a snap.
Yeah, I heard thunder rumbling. Kristen, I guess, left after I went to bed and took Millie with her to go get her mom because she doesn't like to be home alone during thunderstorms. And then I got up, I ate some pizza real quick, and then I left to go get gas. And then as soon as I got gas, the storm just turned off. And then Kristen was like, "Did you have any trouble getting into work?" I said, "No, it was a fucking normal, wet, rainy day."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't do shit after I left.
Apparently a few people died, though, in Columbus area.
I did hear that. The tornadoes were pretty bad
But
in
it's
some
weird
areas.
because they keep saying it's a supposed tornado. I'm like, well, then what the fuck else would it have been?
Right.
Especially since you can see that area is decimated. It wasn't just like a small gust.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't anything here, so I know that Kristen really amped up her fears for storms and woke me up 2 minutes early.
I love a good storm.
Storms are nice to sleep through.
I weirdly can't sleep through them here, but I do like just like hearing it because it sounds kind of cool when it's raining on because I guess like my roof or whatever, the way that they did it, it's very acoustic.
It makes me very sleepy to hear rain, so I can sleep really well if it's raining or thundering out. Kristen, on the other hand, has extreme anxiety, like the storm is going to fucking rip the roof off and send a lightning bolt through her asshole. So she's got a bit of anxiety if it starts storming at all, and I'm just like, can I go back to sleep, please?
Oh my god. Through her asshole. Just call her Hera.
No. Zeus would famously fuck literally anything else except for Hera.
That's true.
Literally
anything else. No wonder she was such a bitter bitch.
My wife or Hera?
Hera!
I thought we were about to have a whole conversation about what you really thought about Kristen.
No, I love Kristen.
Somebody's got to. So anyway, Life is grand outside of not getting any sleep from last night. Working a double. I got an hour and a half because every time I tried to take a nap, Kristen had a PTA meeting, so she didn't take the littles with her. And I thought if they're cool, they have snacks, they have drinks, they have TV, they'll be fine, and I can sleep. Just dad nap. And I took some melatonin pills because I thought if I force myself to get sleepy, I'll have easier time falling asleep easy. And that was true, except for that every time I would doze off, Oliver would climb up into my chair, grab my face with both hands, and just shake me.
So I was going to ask you, it's like, did you actually be able to go to bed, or did you have to sleep on the couch?
I slept off and on very unhealthily on the couch, and then when Kristen got home at like 8:30, I went upstairs to go to bed for like another hour or so, and then I went to work and worked from 11 p.m. to 3 p.m. And I worked all through the night. I gave myself a healthy head start yesterday by not taking breaks because I knew I was going to be dead tired today. So I didn't take any breaks yesterday. I busted out a lot of work ahead of time. And then I worked through the night without taking breaks because I knew that as soon as I took breaks, I was going to start slowing down mentally. And so what I did was I worked up until like 9 o'clock, and then I went out to my car and slept for like an hour.
I just don't understand how you were able to take melatonin and actually work.
Well, the melatonin wore off after I slept and all that. At that point, I was just being regular tired.
You didn't even barely sleep.
I know. I fucking know it. And then I took like another nap, I think, between like 11 and noon or something like that in the car, which was extremely unfruitful, and I didn't think I actually slept at all. And then
that had to have been better than Oliver clawing at your face, though.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't interrupted. Although I did start having dreams that things were going wrong inside the building while I was outside sleeping. Like that, I think I dreamt that I broke one of my glove forms because they're porcelain, so they're really easy to break, but they're really expensive to buy replacements for. And over the years of breaking them, we've run out of replacements, and for whatever reason the company won't buy more forms from the company that sells them to us because they're expensive. So now that I've broken like 3 or 4 forms off the same truck that we don't have replacements for, they're like, well, now we're not getting as much bang for the buck for the dips, because I work in a latex factory. I dip these glove forms into tungsten. I won't go into all the details of it. It's terribly boring information, but it is all expensive, and I keep breaking forms because it's just porcelain, so it's real easy to break.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I would not be able to do that for anything because I dropped a plate the other day just pulling it out of the dishwasher, and it broke in half. So that would be me, just breaking forms. I do break shit quite easily, too. Kristen asked me to change the light bulb above the sink probably like 3-4 months ago.
Oh, no. And I changed the bulb, and I didn't like shatter it or anything. It was very easy going. I replaced the bulb, put the cover back on, and then I was like, I did a good job. I'm a fucking good-ass handyman. And I yeeted the bulb into the trash can, and it fell short of the can and shattered all over the floor.
A good-ass handyman as we're trying to hang your TV, and we're finding what we think are studs, and it's really just the screws going through all the way to the stairs on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Using a stud finder, it's like stud. It's like there's no way there's studs all throughout this.
Jesus Christ! Thank God no one was going up and down the stairs at that point.
And then every time I find one where it says there's a stud, because I hung a wall mount for controllers and the Oculus headsets and everything too, and it was like there's a stud, and I was like, great, I'm going to put one in. And the drill just went straight through, so there was no stud there. So my stud finder is fucking useless, or I'm useless. I'm not really sure which yet.
Well, I think it's just that wall.
Yeah, maybe.
That wall is terrible.
And then I went to go drill another hole when I was trying to find the stud again so I could get an actual anchor in there. And it was like stud. And I was like, great. So I like marked it, and I just did a double check, and it was like live wire. I'm like, I don't know if I want to take a chance and drill into this now.
Oh, no. No, that's always my biggest fear. That's why I just don't even fuck with any of that shit.
Yeah, it's honestly the worst. And then you paid somebody, and then they hung your TV crooked.
Which is weird, because I watched him test it to make sure it was level. And I was like, yeah, it's level. We're good to go.
Maybe the weight of your TV sagged the wall.
I was wondering about that the other day. I was like trying to fix it, and I was like, wonder if maybe the TV's too heavy. Because you got it in my mind that the Xbox and the TV are too powerful for that outlet. That's why the power keeps going out. And now I'm like, shit, what if the thing just falls off the wall?
That's my worst nightmare. It's just to be sleeping and hear a crash and be like, something very wrong has happened and I don't want to go confront it.
So that has happened to me at least 2 times in my old apartment. And I was always terrified that I was being broken into, so I'd always walk out in the living room with like my samurai sword. And it turns out it was just something falling off the fucking shower. You know how like those really like janky...
Those caddies.
The shower inserts?
Yeah.
Like they're just like not porcelain or anything, it's just like plastic or... They just like take the shower and put it in there. So then like you put like the caddy on it and it doesn't always stick.
Yeah.
Because it's not like tile or anything. Well, that happened to me and it kept falling. And I just, every time I thought it was someone breaking into my apartment.
I think if I heard a crash that sounded like it could have been a TV falling off a wall, I would have preferred somebody breaking into the house.
Oh, 100%. Especially that 75-inch upstairs. God damn, I'd lose my mind.
It's like, please take the PlayStation. Don't let it be the TV on
Actually,
the floor.
What's funny about that electronic purchase is that is the first thing I've put protection on in years.
Yeah.
Years. And I never buy it. But for some reason, something was telling me to buy it. I didn't buy it for my parents, and I got theirs.
Yeah, well, you know, fuck your parents.
They didn't hang it. They just put it on a TV stand. They don't need it. And I'm now like, all right, cool. So if anything happens, I just don't stress about it.
And then you have your dad who not only thinks you do cocaine, but was worried you might be shooting gay porn in your basement.
God damn! Yeah, so...
The life he must think you live.
Did we tell anybody about that story?
I don't think so. I feel like I know we talked about it, and I felt like we mentioned it, but since doing this podcast, cocaine has never come up.
Oh, okay. So, backstory is that I had this friend, shout out to Linda.
You do shout out every goddamn episode.
Love you, girl. And she and me and her... He wasn't always around at that point, but her boyfriend... And then my good buddy and like maybe 1 or 2 other friends sometimes were like in this group of ours. But we were in our angsty years. Like, that's what happens when you're a fucking teenager. You just don't want to like hang out with your parents. Don't want to talk to them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm praying my children reach that stage sooner than later so I can get some peace and quiet in my goddamn house.
Well, so I thought what was happening to me going through puberty, my parents never had the sex talk with me. Like, I was going through... my teenage years just kind of just like by the seat of my pants. Like I was just angsty as fuck.
Right.
It was just, I went to a small school of 80 people in my class, like 85 or something like that. It wasn't great. I didn't really like where I was going. And so I had these friends, but they were also angsty. And my parents thought because we were angsty that we were all doing cocaine.
Yeah.
And apparently my dad's mentality is that if you have anger problems, or if you are at all angry as a teenager, that you're just automatically doing cocaine.
Which is bizarre because teenagers are raging hormone machines. So
right.
Like, they're going to have issues and fluctuations.
Exactly. So I've never done cocaine in my life. And I think I said this in the last podcast. Or I think I said it the last episode where I was like, I have an addictive personality, I think. It's like, I just don't think I would even be willing to do it. And because of the fact that it's supposed to be like the most addictive drug out there. Besides, I think, maybe heroin. But, yeah, no, I never did it. And to this day, like, I think even at Christmas last year, it got brought up. And they still insist that I was doing cocaine with Linda.
I feel like we need to give him a Christmas card from you. We're going to have, like, we could have the podcast set up. And we're just going to have, like, powdered donut sugar lined up on
Anthrax?
the table. Anthrax?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, to ship it in a card.
No, I'm not talking about fucking sending your dad anthrax over his thinking you do cocaine.
No, but you put white powder in a card, it would be anthrax.
I was talking about making it look like you were having lines of coke and you're going to have, like, a dollar bill. And you're
I like that idea.
You're going to pose like you're doing
it.
cocaine.
We'll do it for Christmas.
And we'll come up with some, like, clever caption, like, hope this Christmas blows your mind or something.
Oh, I love that. We gotta write that down. And then I want Kane to have like one on a little tray next to him for doing it too.
Oh god, if we can get a mirror for Kane and have a little powdered sugar on the tray for him too.
Oh god, that'd be amazing. He would do it too. He would sniff that fucking tray and he'd have it all. It would be great. All right, we're doing it.
And then,
cool.
yeah, I would say we'll do several pictures. One with you looking like you're going to do the blow, and then one with Kane's nose just covered in powdered sugar.
So your Christmas is going to be poop logs. Mine's going to be cocaine prank. There we go.
I think it sounds like a good Christmas plan.
We've got it all figured out. We are good to go.
I don't think people should let us have time together.
No, I don't. I mean, we're very bad influence on each other.
I mean, the great friends, okay people.
Yeah, we're okay people.
We're fine together, but the ideas that we come up with are highly morally questionable.
Yes, and I've never ever claimed to be a good person. In fact, people have told me recently, they're like, "You're such a good person," and I'm like, "I don't think so," because I constantly want to talk shit about people.
Well, a thought occurred to me, speaking of not being a great person, that... Are you familiar with the Purge movies?
Yeah, I hate them.
You hate them?
Yeah, I can't stand them.
Why?
So, there are two sets of movies that I cannot stand, and it is Saw and The Purge.
Oh my god, they're like the only version of like horror that I actually care for.
Purge freaks me out for the fact that it is like borderline possible.
It doesn't even feel like it's Orwellian. It feels like it could be our future in a decade.
And the fact that they like keep making them where it's like election year, and they did a show. I think they have like 2 new ones that have come out in the last couple of years.
Yeah, there was like I can't even keep up with them. There was like the Purge, and then there was like Purge election year, and then there was like the origin Purge story, and then there was a TV show about. I don't think.
And then they have a new one now or coming out, and there's just something about it that wigs me out. The fact that like I already cannot be in my own home without my dog because I already have like a phobia about like someone breaking in and just like stabbing me in the middle of the night.
Your samurai sword's not going to get the job done.
It's not gonna work. And I've always had that phobia since I was little, and I don't know why. I just do not like being in a space by myself. I could be in a room by myself, and I could be in certain spaces by myself, but like in a home, it's actually harder. It was weird because I was in an apartment, I felt way more unsafe than I do in my own home. And it's probably because the apartment is like, it was open doors. It wasn't like actually inside something. It was like as soon as you open your door, you're outside.
Right.
So those were always just terrible. But something about The Purge, it hits too close to home to me where it's like, well, what if it did happen? There would be no safety in my current home that could keep me alive.
It's amazing, too, the concept of those movies is that if you have... was like is a purple light or whatever is supposed to indicate that you support the Purge, but you're not participating in it, and therefore
you can opt out.
I think that's supposed to be what it is, and I think people are supposed to leave you alone. But I have seen like I think in the first one they were like breaking into someone's house.
Yeah, I don't remember the first one being where you could even opt out.
Because I was pretty sure that it was like you had to have like a certain color light bulb on your porch to indicate that you support the Purge, but you're not participating.
And I remember in one of them, it might have been the first one, all like the rich people were having like a party and stuff.
Yeah.
There would be not any amount of money that you could pay me to be in a crowd of people on Purge night.
Oh, for sure.
I don't care how rich we all are. Someone in that room wants to kill the rest of us.
Oh, absolutely. So the good news is the idea that came to my mind, you don't have to enjoy the movies, you just have to understand the concept of the Purge. I don't think we should have a purge to the degree that people should be allowed to kill or whatever for one night. I do think, however, inspired by the people that I work with on a daily basis, there should be a couple times, maybe once quarterly, where you can just be like, pop, pop, and just get away with it.
Just a pop-up?
Yeah, there's a few people that I work with, one of which is just the worst person, just the most annoying.
School shooter?
No, not school shooter. The school shooter's a whole problematic person on his own. I won't go into too much detail about school shooter, but school shooter is someone who I have given the moniker to because he started recently at our job, and he came in wearing a black tank top and black cargo pants, and he's got like a grungy hairstyle, like a pencil mustache. He looks like he would show up to school one day with a list of people and a surprise from his backpack. And he wore this outfit every single day. I don't know if it was the same outfit or if he just has those same clothes for every day of the week. I have no idea. But it took like 2 months of him working there to finally get like a gray tank top.
So is he like the latex Zuckerberg where he wears the same outfit every day?
Yeah, basically. And he can't show up on time to save his life. He's gotten better about it since they've had these talks. I guess there's been talk that the plant foreman wants to get rid of him because he's unreliable, but my manager's like, no, let's give him a chance. We need him. We need these dips or whatever. And so in addition to dressing like what I would deem as a typical school shooter outfit, one day that I was training him because his original trainer was off for a couple of days, he somebody keeps bringing in a firearm magazine and leaving it for people to look at work. And he saw the magazine and he's like, does that belong to anybody? And I was like, somebody brings it in, but they tear off the label, the address label. So I don't know who it is that brings it in, but they obviously don't want people to know what their address is. And they just leave it because some people like to flip through the magazine, which, you know, I'm all in favor of owning a gun. I don't personally, but like if you're smart about it and you have the mental faculties to own a gun, I'm all for gun ownership. But he seemed to take real quick interest in this gun magazine. He was flipping through and he's like, I really like that one, and I really like that one, and that one can do a lot of damage. Like some really questionable things he was saying. And so I gave him the moniker school shooter when we shit talk him in the group chat. And I said if he ever did want to shoot up the job, I'm pretty sure that I'm safe because he can't ever show up on time. So if he is going to do it, I'm pretty certain I'll be out of the building at the time.
Thank God.
But no, this dude is, I want to say he's 45 years old and lives at home with his mom. Like, he chooses to. He's never left game news that's coming up or game releases or ask if I know what's coming out soon or whatever. And like a lot of the time he's super annoying and he'll tell the same thing to everybody he talks to throughout the day, so he doesn't keep track of what he's told people. And like he'll ask me about something and I'll tell him about it and I'll give him details, and then he'll come back later in the day and be like, yeah, I heard this about this game's coming out. And I was like, I literally told you about it 2 hours ago.
Do you say that to him?
No, I just kind of nod my head and I would just be like, oh, that's crazy, and I'll try to walk away from him and he'll just follow me. And like one point he was following me to the bathroom because I was like, I don't have to take a shit, but I'm going to tell him I have to take a shit, so he'll stop following me. And he followed me most of the way to the bathroom.
What if he got in the stall next to you?
That would have been fucking insane. I might have had to have gone over and pop. So I think because of people like him, we should have some minor version of the Purge.
See now, I'm trying not to come off as such a murderer, but
as someone with anger issues who might be doing cocaine.
Yeah, but corporate Cody would probably, the equivalent for that would be, instead of just beating on somebody, would just try and get them fired.
Yeah.
I would get so much joy out of having not to work with so many people that I work with. And if I could just have them not show up the next day, that would be my equivalent of pop-up.
You have a nice work from home job where you don't have to constantly be around some people who, you know, like might be at the water cooler telling the same stories over and over again. But you do have to have meetings and you have to have one-on-one. So like you do still have involvement with people.
Is?
Slack, yeah.
So we use Slack, and I purposely do not have mine online ever. I'm available. Everyone that I work with that's on my team knows I'm available. But I do not have it online because I have these 2 people who, if they see me online, hey, what's up? Nothing much.
And just people you don't talk to normally.
This would be what happened in the office. And it was constant, like, and I would talk to these people pretty regularly, especially in the office because I would see them every day. But it would be like, as soon as I would get back to my desk, I'd have a message from them saying, hey, I'm like, I literally just saw you. And so, like, now that we're remote, that's the equivalent of water cooler talk is Slack, and it is the fucking worst. So I don't use it. And I try not to have my phone notifications, like my, you know, like you can put it in silent mode.
Yeah.
I almost never have that thing turned on, because I do not like hearing the noise of Slack so much that it gives me anxiety if I even see it.
I bet it would.
Oh, it's terrible, dude. Terrible.
It amazes me, too, what people will talk about on Slack, knowing that it is a work-based...
Oh, when we first got Slack at my company, 2017, 2018, maybe? I think it was 2017. It could have been actually 2016, too. I don't fucking know. It was early. And... Oh God! The people that used to work in this one department they're no longer there anymore. At least the majority of these people aren't. They're so stupid. They were sending sex gifts in the group chat for work, and they had their own little group chat that they created, and then nobody realized that it could be seen. So then it finally got noticed that they could be seen. Their manager saw it, and then HR for the entire corporation, not just my office, was like, okay, we're going to track these now. And now they have it where, like, everyone got a notification in every Slack channel saying that, like, HR can look at this at any point now. So that happened, and it died down a little bit. But then I think maybe, like, a year later, this department had 40 people in it. It's much larger now. 40 people in it. But one day there was an exodus of maybe 20. They all got fired.
Jesus.
Because they had a group chat where they were all cyberbullying some people in the office on Slack.
Where everybody else could see it.
And it was all seen everywhere. And they all got fired, like, immediately. Like, one person's entire team got laid off, or got fired.
That's insane.
Because people are so fucking stupid when it comes to Slack.
Right.
So, I would never do any of that type of shit where it's, like, talking like that on Slack. I know better than that. But if I could just, send off a really spicy per my last email to somebody and then they just get fired. Corporate assassination would just be my equivalent. But
it's not as satisfying as popping someone in the face.
And that was what I was going to say too, is it's not as satisfying. But there are people in my life outside of work that I would like to do that to.
Which is wild because I'm not a violent person by any means. Like I have a very long fuse before I get set off. One exception to really shorten my fuse is to hit me in the face. That will set me off immediately. I've told Kristen that before early on because she would like to play fight and stuff, and I was like, I'm cool with this. I like this dynamic. I enjoy giving each other a hard time and play fighting. Do not slap me in the face. I said, you will find a different version. I'm not going to wail on you. I'm not going to beat you or anything. But I was going to immediately kill the fun time.
Right.
So I have a long fuse otherwise. And there was one day. So there's another guy that I work with.
Oh, no.
He also says the same things, but not just like that he heard from you to you again later the same day. He will just say the same things over and over. Like he's programmed to just be on a loop on Groundhog Day. So for example, I used to work at a pizza shop back last April, almost a year ago now. Actually, I was working there last February, so it's been over a year now. I worked there for 4 months while I was working at this latex job. And it was just extra income, but it burned me the fuck out because I was working full-time hours both places. In fact, I was working overtime at both places too pretty regularly. So I was working 80-plus hours a week. And every day I would come in and he'd be like, you bringing pizza in for me? Like, no, I'm not bringing you pizza. And then the next day, you bring pizza in? And then he would ask me just every other, and then just before that, he would every day he would see me. What you think, Hockenberry? What you think about what? We haven't been talking. This is literally the first time today.
Is that somebody that you'd be friends with in the office, at work?
Oh no, not at all.
Well, then why would he even think that you'd bring him pizza?
Yeah, right, exactly. And I guess he used to know the owner of that pizza shop because it's a little family-owned pizza shop, and I guess they went to school together. And he was like, you should see if he'll give me a free pizza.
Go ask him.
And I related the one next time I saw the owner because I saw him periodically. And I was like, I went to school with this dude that you used to, or I work with another dude you used to go to school with. And I was like, he wants to know if you'll give him a free pizza. He said, tell him come fucking work for it.
Right? It's not that hard. It baffles me how much or how entitled people are to think that they can get free things just because they know somebody.
They know, right, exactly. But this dude, he will just on loop say the same shit every day. What you think? What you think? We aren't talking about anything. What do you think? Whatever.
Did you ever ask him what he meant?
No, because I know that this is who he is, and then another thing he likes to do, which is annoying, is if we're a union job. If there are two of us standing around talking and he walks by and goes, oh, we having a union meeting I should be part of? Just shut the fuck up.
So that's like the equivalent of corporate, what's up? And someone's like, I'm living the dream, you?
Yes, exactly.
I fucking hate
exactly.
that. And what's really funny about that phrase is I've never said that in my life to the point where, I've never actually said it at work. And for some reason, there are a handful of people at this office that think that is my phrase.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never said it before, and I've never said it to you. And we've seen you say it, we've heard you. I was like, you've never heard me say that.
I give a much darker response to that question. Living the dream. People will be like, how are you doing today? I'd be like, woke up again, unfortunately.
I say same shit, different day.
Yeah.
I say that one pretty consistently, and But now I really like that one. Woke up, unfortunately. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Like, woke up again. Fuck.
Oh, gotta get out of bed.
But this dude, one day, I think it was lack of sleep. I was probably working a double. I didn't get any sleep the night before, and he just was saying the same shit he says every day, over and over again. And I just could not handle it anymore. And I said, do you not have a manager's desk to be under right now? Because he's a major kiss ass in management.
Oh, what'd he say?
He's like, what'd you say? And I just walked in the building, and I talked to one of the other guys that was present at the time that I had said it, and he's like, Donnie, I probably shouldn't say his name. Oh well. He's like, Donnie was so confused about what you meant by it. I was like, he's literally too stupid to understand what I said to him.
Wow. That is. Oh, I've had some people like that too.
There's very few people that I work with that I'm okay with, and almost everyone that I've liked has quit.
How many people are at this company?
We have 3 different places. The one I work with, we're actually fairly small. I think we have maybe 50-some people.
That's it?
Yeah, it's relatively small.
Damn. Yeah, I started out with 150 at the company that I work at, and now I think it's like almost 7,000 or 8,000 since 2015.
Now I'm desperately trying to get out and get into a tech industry.
I know, dude. I would love to have you work at the company. I would love to have you work at the company I work for.
If I could not tell somebody when they ask how I'm doing, because it's the same thing every day, if I could stop saying, I'm here, that's the best I can do.
Well, unfortunately, the way that I'd be able to get you in would be probably support, and that is a lot of, hey, thanks for calling. How are you? How can I help you? And it's a lot of people being like, just so down.
I've done telemarketing. I can take soul sucking.
But it's not telemarketing, thank God. It's not that. It's customer support. For what I'd be able to get you in for. But it's just a lot of, hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? All right, what can I help you with?
Yeah, you can't.
My internet browser doesn't work.
You can't.
Did you restart it?
You can't tell the people calling in for support. They ask you how you're doing. You're like, well, unfortunately, I woke up again. How are you doing?
I used to have this friend. You know that I refer to her as the lesbians.
Yes.
My Louisville lesbians. Shout out.
Are you going to make the people you shout out watch the episodes that you shout them out on?
Hey, she actually said she wants to watch it, so that's what I was like. I'll let you watch it when there's a couple episodes built up, and so she's gonna probably start watching this one. So shout out my Louisville lesbians, but she actually worked at the job that I work at now. When she was working there a little bit longer than I was, or a little bit before when I started, and I had known her before the job, but then once we both started working together, that's when we became really close. And then we had this friend, and it doesn't hurt to say his name, but his name is Kevin. So it was me, Jess, and Kevin, and we would always work kind of the same hours. I think we typically worked the same hours, like give or take a couple, like 3 or 4 hours. And we had these stress balls for like swag for the company.
Yeah.
And we would just get them. And then we also had those fucking shoelace backpacks as swag. So we would fill them up, keep them at our desk, and then we'd whip them across the tables and like the office and everything. And so like maybe the distance between here to that TV on the wall, so like I would say like what, 20, 30 feet, is the distance between like where Jess would sit and I would sit. And I was always in this corner, and she'd be whipping them at me. And one time I got hit in the face, and it goes bonk. My glasses fall off. I'm on the phone with the customer, and she goes, what just happened? And I was like, I just got hit in the face with the ball. And she was like, are you okay? Can you continue this call? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And stupid shit like that would always happen. And then like when I would work overtime on the weekends, I would walk in the office, and Jess would have moved my computer over to hers, which was an undertaking in itself because you have to literally move everything over to a different desk and then reset up, connect to the phone, everything. She would do that. Well, if I would look at Jess, I could not even answer the phone because I would just start laughing.
Right.
And one time I answered the phone and I'm laughing, and the lady's like, hello, hello. And I'm laughing, so I start coughing. I turn into a cough, and I'm like, sorry, I'm sick. I got a cough. And she goes, why are you working then? And so it was always the stupidest shit having to work like with that. And we just, started out like that. And that's the kind of culture that I would hope that it would be like for you if you were to join. But there's no office now.
Right.
So it's like not as fun.
Now to just be dealing with idiots on Slack. I don't know what to...
Oh, God. And I know some of the people that are in that team, and I'm like, maybe I can just find a different team for you to enter, and maybe not be in my org, because the people on that team are not that great.
Or we're gonna have to do some corporate assassinating.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Pick someone you don't really love that much and be like, man, there's clown porn on your email.
Oh my God. Okay, so there was this one girl who
Jesus Christ.
There's this one girl who doesn't work there anymore, and I'm really glad that she doesn't work there anymore, but she we would fuck with her so hard. And so Jess and I would just back and forth fuck with her, and one day she left the office to like go on lunch or something. So I took a stick. There was like on her phone, like each phone had a screen, and she had like this little sticky note of like a penis on the screen. So I walked by it and saw it, and I took a sticky note and I said, "See me," put a little arrow pointing to the penis and said, "See me -HR." Just HR, like I would have, if it was really HR, she would have put her name.
Right.
She came back and saw it. She's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And she looks at Jess and she goes, "What do I do? Am I about to get fired?" And Jess is like, "I don't know. It says HR. It says HR." So she starts walking over to HR, and Jess is like, "It was a joke. HR didn't actually see this."
HR would have been so confused when she got in there.
Been so confused.
Been like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put the penis on my computer." Like, wait, what?
That same HR lady supposedly got fired because she would be drinking on the job. She literally would walk around with like a cup full of beer all day.
I feel like you probably have to drink if your job is dealing with the people of your job.
Yeah. Early days, it was like just walking into a fucking jungle. Like people were literally hanging out in hammocks while they would be on the phone. And there was only a few of us. And so like we had to take in like hundreds of calls a day. And I think now, because everything is so much more streamlined, I think it's like 30 or 40 calls a day. I mean, that's way easier. I would have loved that when I was back in the support days. But, yeah, if I can get you into the tech industry anywhere, it would be a saving grace, and you wouldn't have to be killing yourself over this latex.
I think that's another phrase that's come to mind for response for people asking how you're doing. You know, like, well, there's no Baileys in my coffee yet.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna start using that. Right when Christmas started happening, I got a bottle of Baileys, and I went on like my 2 week. I take 2 weeks off around Christmas like every year, and I like posted on Snapchat. I was like, "Oh, started my week off right with coffee and Baileys," and everyone's like, "Are you really showing up to work drunk?" And I was like, "I'm on vacation. I can do what I want.
I can pull my dick out right now and you can't tell me no."
I was like, just because I work from my home office doesn't mean that I can't just take time off. But yeah, a lot of people thought I was drinking at home
while working.
And I'm like, even if I was, I work in Excel sheets all day.
But like, I'm Winnie the Pooh-ing it right now. What do you guys say about that? Right. That reminds me of a conversation Kristen and I just had last night, I think it was.
There was a guy who we worked with. He doesn't work here anymore either. We'll come to a story in a second, but I just thought of this Winnie the Pooh-ing it. Is he forgot he was on camera, so he starts doing chores around the house. Thank God he was on mute, but he's like folding his laundry, his underwear on camera, and we're all just like, hey, you might want to turn your camera off. Because people are like texting him and he sees the text messages. He's like, oh shit. So covering his camera. I'm like, God damn, I'm so thankful that none of that's happened to me. But I have a fear that like my camera will turn on. So I actually have camera covers on everything. Because if I happen to be just like walking around the house, Winnie the Pooh in it, and that was on camera, I would never be able to face my coworkers.
Right, yeah. Be like, I can't work with you anymore because you've seen my dick. Unless you liked it, then we'll talk about it.
It's not sexual harassment. I didn't mean it to happen.
Yeah, it was accidental sexual harassment. Unless you liked it, in which case it was an early Christmas gift.
You were looking. I didn't mean for it to happen.
Right. If anything, I feel violated.
Right.
So Kristen and I, it wasn't last night, it was when we went to go pick up the candy 2 hours fucking away. I was talking to her, I've told her the story about a friend of mine was wanting to hook up with one of his exes, but she wasn't interested in having sex with him anymore. And here we are with another story of how I'm not a great person.
Oh no.
And she didn't want to have sex with just him, but she had told him that I was coming over for the weekend. We were in high school. And I was coming over for the weekend. I was going to ride the bus home with him, and then I was going to stay the weekend there with him. And she was going to come hang out too. She went to a different school, and she saw a picture of me or something. He told her I was coming over. Somehow she got acquainted with my visage. Why did I say visage?
Yeah,
as opposed to just like my picture, my appearance, anything. My visage. And she told him
fucking bard.
that she would have sex with him only in the condition that it was a threesome with me too. And I, at that point, had been fucking 17, 18, somewhere around there. So entering into adulthood, but not really adult. And so I had been having sex for a few years, trying to have like as much of it as I could with as many people as I could. Just really going to town. And the thought of a threesome, in high school is like, seems really daunting. You don't really know what your own sexual capabilities are yet, and you're like, I don't know, I'm having trouble with lasting more than 2 minutes with one person. I don't know if I'm going to handle another person. But I was like, I've seen her picture, I'll go for it. But I don't want to have sex with my friend. And so I was very conflicted about this because, like, I'm very straight. I don't want to see his penis.
Here we go again. He's afraid of nudity. Like,
I'm not afraid of nudity. I just don't want to be raw dogging it with someone else who's raw dogging it. And so this was a whole ordeal for like a week. The conversation was being brought up that she was going to have sex with both of us. And then it was a matter of, do I groom myself? Do I not groom myself? Because I hadn't really been experimenting with all that. And then it was a matter of how am I going to deal with not touching his penis, but while still getting the enjoyment from her that I'm supposed to. I was really like worried about this whole scenario working out. Fortunately, it came down to I didn't have to worry about it. She changed her mind last second.
Of course. Decided
she didn't want to have a threesome, but
she
still wanted to have sex with me. And so this was like my best friend in high school, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck her.
So you did?
Yeah. So they ended up getting into a fight. Like, she arrived. I don't remember what the fight was about. It was something stupid and juvenile. They got into a fight. She walked off. And I said, I'll figure out what's going on. She's not mad at me. I'll go talk to her, whatever. We talk. I don't know, somehow get into the transition of I don't want to have sex with him. I want to have sex with you. And I was like, cool, me too. Let's do it.
Right.
And we ended up fucking on the playground at the nearby school, which was not probably a great choice.
No, that is such a terrible decision.
School was like long out, so obviously nobody was there. But all the same, still a bad choice. And so Chris and I were talking about this. I got way more into the story than I was supposed to. The point of the matter is we hooked up. I avoided the threesome with my friend that I didn't want to have. And Kristen was like, I don't know, we somehow got into the conversation of this threesome again. And she was like, well, you didn't have to get fully naked with him if that was the problem. I said, it wasn't like this man boobs were going to be the issue for me. It was that his dick was going to be hanging out.
Nudity again. Like, I don't understand.
I just don't want to be looking at another dick while I'm having mine sucked. I know I don't have to touch it. It's just that there was going to be another dick there, and I was problematic with that.
You watch porn.
Yeah, I watch porn, but it's not someone that I go to school with on a regular basis and see his dick.
I don't know. I mean, I've had a threesome like that before.
Okay.
In high school.
Regardless. She was like, you could have just resolved the worry about being naked with him by Winnie the Pooh-ing it. And I'm like...
But your dick is still out. Yeah,
I've said that wasn't the problem. The man boobs weren't the issue. It was the dick. That was the whole ordeal. So fortunately...
I just think it is hysterical how just, like, hardline against just having any type of, like, sexual encounter.
I just didn't want to have...
You didn't have to touch it.
Involvement with it. And
You
then
don't have. That's the whole thing about the Eiffel Tower. You don't touch them.
the Eiffel Tower is so much more touching than anything else.
There was a girl who had gotten her Eiffel Tower videotape, and they spread it around school. I hated that woman, so I'm glad it did. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't mean that. I don't want to get canceled, but I really hated that woman, so it sucks for her. But I've done the threesome in high school. It was fine. I didn't do anything with him, but we were both covered in hickeys.
Oh, I thought you said ickies, and I was like, are you, like, did you jizz on each other?
No.
And why would you call it icky?
I'm going to start calling it that.
We didn't touch dicks, but we were covered in each other's ickies.
No, we were covered in hickeys, and yeah, that was really, really awkward going to school because my whole neck looked like it got attacked by a bear.
Yeah.
And I was doing this business course, business associates thing for a vocational school. And I went in that day, and one of the counselors comes over and she goes, "It's okay, but like, could you be a little bit more professional?" I was like, "There's nothing I can do about this. I cannot make this go away, no matter how much I try."
Right.
And she goes, "Well, why don't you just like not leave your desk then?" And I was like, "I need to be making copies right now." And she goes, "Well, it's just not a good look." And I was like, "It's not going to stop me from going places in life. Like, this is literally just high school." And she made it seem like it was ruining my entire future. And I was like, "You probably have your virginity still."
She was probably jealous she wasn't there.
Probably. But I think it was either this time, there was 2 hickey situations. And one of them, I came upstairs, my dad handed me a beer.
Handed you a beer?
Yeah.
He's like, "You're a man now."
I was like, okay.
I remember thinking hickeys were really cool. Like, it was just...
Yeah, I don't know why we all thought they were like
it was a war trophy.
Yes.
You had sex and you hooked up with someone who drew blood to the surface of your skin.
The girl who would always do them to me, like, it was like her kink. And it was weirder, that's weirder to me than the ex-girlfriend who would like lick my beard and tattoos. But it was like her kink, because every time I would see her, I would leave with hickeys that were like the size of like a pear.
You'd have people asking, like, "Are you having sex, or is things not good at home right now?"
Is there anything you need to tell us? No, I'm just getting a little abused in bed.
You're getting fucked one way or another.
Yeah, right? No, but I mean, so to me, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just a lot not as weird about sex as you are. I don't know.
I don't know why. It's not that I'm weird about sex.
But I've been to an orgy before.
That's okay. That's a story, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's a story for sure. That one I don't think we have enough time to talk about today. I mean, I just don't care. It's just, to me, if you're nude, it's like, okay.
I'm fine with nudity, but if I were to participate in a threesome, okay, let me backtrack. Originally, the idea was if I was ever going to participate in a threesome, I wanted it to be 2 girls, just because I have no attraction to men.
Okay.
I don't desire another man to be there whatsoever. I feel like that would help deter me from enjoying it. I have come to the decision, though, that I don't want a threesome.
It's too much work.
It's too much work. It's absolutely too much work.
It's too much work.
And in addition to being too much work, my philosophy has if I wanted to disappoint 2 people at once, I would go have dinner with my parents.
Yes.
So...
Yes. I've had both variations, and both of them have ended in where, like, everyone was just like, what the fuck did we just do?
Yeah. And I feel like unless everybody's really into each other, there's going to be that post-nut clarity where you're just like, well, now here we are covered in each other's juices and sweat.
Icky.
Each other's ickies. And
it was
now what do we do with our lives?
It was just nobody ever felt great afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever feeling like, oh my god, that was so much fun.
Yeah, you've got the post-nut enjoyment, but then it's just like, so what do we do now?
Yeah, I mean, my college years were extremely adventurous to the point where I would just like, anybody was like, hey, you want to go do this? I'm like, sure, whatever.
I did have somebody watch me have sex with someone else. That was interesting.
I had a husband watch.
Yeah? You were involved in a cuck situation?
The cuck chair?
Yeah. Do you know that recently an animator for Bluey got fired?
I don't know if that's real though, but I saw that TikTok. Was it you who sent it to me?
It might have been. The animator drew a cuck chair in the bedroom corner.
And then I was watching that and I was like, I don't think that's really what that should have been. Like, I don't, if that's the true story.
I think they could have got away with being like, well, some people have furniture in their bedrooms.
Right.
It's not too uncommon to have a chair in there.
But I also think it's really weird that they, like, everyone just assumes that the hotel has a cuck chair. Like, I don't understand that point. I guess maybe just because the culture of cucking has been like that chair is what it is.
Right, because they normally have desks, so the chair's going to sit at the desk.
Right.
That's a workstation.
Right.
Yes, you could use it for cucking, but...
Well, typically now every hotel that I've been to for working has like the cuck chair, but then also a chair for the desk. So maybe it is just part of the design now. I don't know. Also, every single hotel that I ever go to, and anybody who ever does go to a hotel, and if any of our viewers do this and it works, I want to fucking know. Supposedly, maids, or whatever the term is for housekeeping, will, in some hotels, depending on the chain, put money in the Bible or the Book of Mormon or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah.
To see if anybody is actually reading it. And so now every hotel I go into, I take the book and I shake it. Just to see, but I've seen people talk about how they've like posted it and they've seen that it's happened.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that. But you're going to find, though, one time it's not going to be a maid putting money in a Bible. It's going to be somebody defiling it with a used condom.
Okay, so I've seen blood on walls. I've seen condoms left, like, under the sheet.
Yeah.
That proved that the fucking housekeeping did not clean it. And I've had 2 different hotel rooms in the same exact hotel where there were cockroaches. So I just don't like hotels much anymore.
Hotels are great for when you want to be covered in other people's ickies, without participating in the fun beforehand.
God, I would be terrified to take a black light to a hotel.
Oh, absolutely. You can't.
And like looking back on my college years and the stupid shit that I would participate in, the grodiest hotels I've stayed in or have shown up in. And I'm like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
But looking back at it now, it's just like, I would never do it again, but how did I not catch chlamydia?
It's always been such an irrational fear of mine that I'm going to catch something off of a toilet seat.
So, yeah, and I wonder how true it is or how possible it really is. So if any of our viewers have ever done that, let us know.
Caught crabs off a toilet seat?
Yeah, I want to know.
I can't imagine too many people are going to tell us that they caught...
Just submit it anonymously. Create a Gmail and email it anonymously. But my dad told me this story recently, that one of their couple friends, when we were camping years ago, announced that they both had an STD.
Yeah.
But they don't know how they got it. And they tried to like act like it was from a toilet. And I'm like, no, one of you cheated.
Right.
One of you cheated.
One of you definitely brought this in.
And you both just announced it to this entire group of like 13 families, because we used to have a group. And and you both thought it was going to be funny. But really all we just found out is that one of you was a cheater.
You know what I love about cheaters who don't announce that a unfaithful partner has occurred in their relationship? Joint Facebook accounts.
I hate it. I hate it so much, and it is so cringe. It is so fucking cringe.
I just saw this very, very popular high school. Obviously, people peak in high school, but he was a very popular football player in high school. As far as I know, he was really smart and everything. He just came up in my recommended people I might know as a joint Facebook account with his wife. I'm like,
what did you do, buddy?
Yeah.
What did you do? The joint Facebook is cringe. And it's just like, you chose to stay together, and you think that you're sharing a Facebook that person doesn't know how to just go create a fake one?
Right. Absolutely. I have a picture that I had saved for overdue for extinction, but it's obviously not going to be used for it.
Oh, no.
See if I can find it real quick. It was a screenshot of a TikTok because I saw it and I was like, that is wild that anybody would stay with them. There it is. I'll post a picture of it up so people can see. The picture is a tattoo that somebody made their partner get And it says, I, Jose, am getting a tattoo voluntarily on January 2nd, 2019, so that I can earn my wife's trust back for the pain and suffering I have caused in our marriage. I am a liar, cheater, manipulator, deceiver, whore / prostitute lover, and dishonest and disrespectful. That is a hell of a tattoo to get on your stomach.
Wait, did they spell deceiver right? Yeah, I think they did.
No, I think it's EI. So they got the wrong spelling for deceiver because apparently intelligence is not in their...
No, if you're getting a tattoo like this, your intelligence is extremely low.
You have to just call the marriage off at that point.
And when he goes to cheat again, because he inevitably is going to...
Absolutely.
How do you explain this? Is he just Winnie the Pooh it?
I think this is supposed to brand him so that he won't be able to cheat. They'll see it and be like, "Oh, this dude's a pig."
So he'll just Winnie the Pooh it. He'll just wear his shirt the whole time.
It all comes back to Winnie the Pooh-ing it.
Wow,
that's insane. That I couldn't fathom. And then he's got his own name tattooed right above his belly button too, which looks cavernous from where it's cut off. You can't see the whole thing.
Terrible.
It looks like a huge belly button. Like you could probably fuck that belly button. You think people are fucking belly buttons out there?
Yes!
Is that a whole thing?
Oh, 100%. Has to be. I'm about to Google it.
Yeah, I was going to go to the hub and like look up belly button fucking.
Speaking of the hub, did you hear about what happened with the hub?
No.
In Texas, I think it is. Pornhub is banned.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think I might have heard of that. It's wild that they would ban Pornhub, and there's 500 million porn sites you can go to.
This is terrible.
Oh, God.
Let's just go to images first.
Are you dead? Oh, God.
There are a lot. And there's one woman right now who's fucking a dildo that's suctioned to the wall.
With her belly button?
But, like, how does that feel good? Oh, no. So, I have this thing where because I was an undeveloped twin, or I have an undeveloped twin.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. I was supposed to be a twin. And so I get these cysts on my tailbone. But then, weirdly, right in line with my belly button, or with my tailbone is my belly button. Well, my belly button, for some reason, the umbilical cord that stays in you if you have an innie gets infected.
Oh.
And it's not because of cleanliness or hygiene, which is what I thought it was going to be when I first had this happen. They were like, we think it has something to do with like the cyst that you get. So every once in a while, I will just like wake up and there'll be blood in my bed, and I have to like clean it out. And it is the most painful thing having to stick a Q-tip in there.
I bet.
But you're gonna tell me that this girl is enjoying this?
Oh my God!
You're gonna tell me she's enjoying that?
Oh my God!
And you're gonna tell me that that's enjoyable?
You know, people talk about...
Because that's not, like, officially closed. Like, if you fuck it hard enough, I'm sure you could open it up.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, why?
It's probably a pretty thin skin cover.
Okay, but, like, he's in there.
He's in there.
He's in there.
Oh, my God.
That is not just a fucking, like, just tip. Like, he's in there.
You get yourself a chubby girl, and anything becomes opening the fuck.
Oh my, yeah, so you literally just said that, and look, the name of the video is Blowjob and Belly Button Fuck. This girl who's literally like...
Oh my God.
I wish I could show you guys these pictures.
These are horrifying. I mean, people could Google...
Oh God, the next one is the one where a guy's coming in it.
Oh
no, don't, you guys, don't look it up. Do not look it up.
And if she's chubby, she's probably sweaty, so it's already pre-lubed.
Oh! Oh! I heard... So that's... You want to hear a really nasty joke?
Oh, God.
Or not like... It's like... I don't even know if it's a joke, but it's funny, and... Because it's not like a... I don't know if there's a... If it, I don't know if it's a joke, but I heard somebody say it along the lines of, like, you saying it's sweaty, it's already lubed. Old people, when they have sex, that... diarrhea is a natural water-based lubricant.
You know who's gonna love this? Kay. Kay is going to love this after she lost it over me saying that ham would be a great lubricant because of the grease. You could just get a ham, and rub your dick on it, and then you're all lubed up, and it's delicious.
Oh.
So it's a nice little snack for her or him. We don't judge or exclude here, and it's lubricant.
Oh God. No, I got tears. My eyes are watering just thinking about how nasty that is.
I mean, you could drill out a hole in the ham first, fuck it first to lube up, and then...
I think we might have found like a niche segment for us to talk about these nasty things that people do on the internet. Like, I feel like we could definitely cover this.
Oh, Jesus. What I like is that we're probably at a good stopping point, and we didn't even cover half of what we were supposed to cover for this episode.
What's the rest of the stuff?
I've got some videos to show you that Kristen wanted us to watch, so we can cover that for next episode. And this Asparomancer, who
I've been wondering what the fuck that is
someone who claims that they can tell fortunes by throwing asparagus and then reading the way it falls.
Okay, so next week, we're going to be covering how to become an Asparomancer. And Tony is going to try it.
Do you have some asparagus?
I'll buy it.
You'll buy asparagus.
I'll have it here. And you're going to try and, it'll be like tea leaves, but with asparagus.
That's exactly what it is.
So, Kay, doing your fortune told? Tell us. Shout out directly to you. Angel, no. Your only future is the weird hot dogs. That's it.
You're not getting a hot dog channel either. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
You're getting a shout out about the hot dog channel, and that's all you get.
It's all you get in your life. For everybody who has no idea what's happening, Discord is off the hook.
Yeah, you need to join the Discord. That's where you'll see some nasty shit. Like a hot dog with Cheese Whiz and Twinkies. Or the new Teletubbies. Is it the new Teletubbies?
Yeah. I bet they like getting fucked in the belly button.
Oh! Yeah, no, so I keep thinking, now I'm going to forever just imagine the pain of what that is, because...
It's gotta hurt.
Dude, I've gotten those long-ass Q-tips by a nurse, stuck in there, and pulled blood out. The first time it ever happened to me, I thought, because I lived in the ghetto, that I had woken up and gotten broken into. So again, my fear of being broken into, I called my parents from Cincinnati and was like, I think I got stabbed because it was in such pain. It was terrible. And my mom was like, we don't want you living down there anymore. And then I had to go to the hospital and they're like, no, it's because of your fucking cysts that you get.
What a fucking terrible fate.
So then I called my mom back on and was like, it's okay, I didn't get stabbed. So now they make fun of me. And pretty much, opening up to anybody who wants to make fun of me for that. But, yeah, very painful. I had it last Christmas. No, not last Christmas. 2 Christmases ago, when I was at my parents' house, and I was rolling over on the air mattress that I had to sleep on, and I was like, "What the fuck is that pain?" I was like, "I remember what this is." Then I started pushing on it, and I was like, "Nope, can't do it. I can't clean it." So I decided to go take a fucking Epsom bath, and it didn't work, but I was told it would. So imagine fucking getting fucked in the belly button. Oh, I don't want to even imagine getting fucked in the belly button. But
have nightmares.
What these women are going through after they after it happens. What if they're what if it's Mr. Hands? Remember the Mr. Hands video?
It sounds familiar.
The guy who got fucked by a horse and then died.
Yes.
So what if it's like that, where the woman's like, oh my god, this is great, and then she gets fucked in the belly button, and then opens up, and then she's like, fuck, I'm gonna die. So please don't try it.
I don't know what kind of nightmares you're gonna have, but I hope.
To all of you guys out there, we don't want you to try it. This is not a endorsement. Try some other kinky shit.
We don't kink shame here, but if you're gonna get fucked in the belly button, we may have a line in the sand.
That is the line in the sand. For me, it's the belly button fucking. For Tony, it's nudity.
It's not nudity in general. I like porn. I don't like people getting fucked in the belly button porn. I did for a moment question if I like clown porn, though.
Oh, God, we're going to go back to this.
Don't worry, Angel cleared me up of that when he sent me those fucking comics.
Which I read, too, and I just don't understand. Is there another one? Are there going to be more, Angel?
There were 6 of them or something like that.
All right, throw them in the Discord, Angel. I know you're going to.
When you send your next terrorist hot dog picture, you send the I don't even remember Nichols the Clown or whatever it was called.
Oh. So, yeah, I think that kind of rounds us up to the end of this week's episode.
Yeah, I think we're probably well beyond where we should be.
Follow us on TikTok. Oh my God, we're both coughing.
I know it was so well managed until we got into this obscure
Every time
topic.
I hear someone coughing like this, I think of that video where, and I need to post it because I'm not going to be able to do this impression justice, and I don't want to come off as racist, but they're working in a restaurant, and they open up the potato, and they took the thermometer, and they're like, oh, the potato's got COVID-19. The potato's got COVID-19. And they do it in like an Arab or whatever Middle Eastern type of accent, which I can't do. And so whenever anyone coughs, I always think of that. And it's my favorite video. But we don't have COVID, so we're fine. Follow us on Discord, or follow us on TikTok. Join the Discord. Cord. Facebook's fine. I'm not a boomer like Tony, so you can interact with him on there.
Someone needs to. Fucking shouting into the void.
We don't have to use it. I mean, it's good to have it there. Yeah. And we got an agenda for next week. Tony's going to give us fortune telling with asparagus.
We got to come up with our justification for not being terrible people.
I warned people not to get belly button fucked.
We're not, how do we say it? We're not the worst people in the world. Oh, we may not be the greatest people in the world, but we don't condone getting your belly button fucked.
Yep. Don't do it.
And if you do, please don't tell us.
Yeah, don't tell us. No, I don't. That's one thing I do not want to see.
We will kink shame you.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.